Hello class, today we are going to learn about inverse matrix. Inverse matrix is one of the most important matrix when we learn about matrices. And today we are going to explain, first explain the meaning of inverse matrix so that you understand the concept, and then after that we will determine how to find the inverse matrix of 2 by 2 matrix only. We'll learn 2 by 2 matrix only, the inverse. Okay, let's get started. What is the meaning of inverse matrix? Okay, before that we look at the regular numbers first. If 2, let's say, if 2 times what? You'll get 1. Okay, of course 2 times 1 over 2, so that you can cancel this one, you'll get 1, right? Okay, so what times, let's say 6 equal 1? Once again, this one is 1 over 6 times 6, you'll get 1. So class, this number 1 over 2 and 1 over 6, we call this the reciprocal of that number. So 1 over 2 is the reciprocal of 2. 1 over 6 is the reciprocal of 6, right? So does matrix has reciprocal? What do you think? Does matrix have a reciprocal? Like, let's say A times matrix A times what? You'll get 1. So you know 1 in matrix 1 equal to matrix identity, right? This one. So this one. What do you think? Is it the reciprocal? Is A times 1 over A, you'll get matrix identity? Wow, this is a big question mark. Okay, so yes, we have a reciprocal matrix. That is what we call inverse matrix. That means a matrix, when we multiply with the inverse, we normally write it A minus 1. Okay, when you multiply with the inverse of the matrix, you will get the matrix identity. Yes, we have inverse matrix. So normally we will write the inverse as this one. Okay, we don't write this. This one we don't write it like this. So the inverse, we write it A minus 1. That is the meaning of that's how we label the inverse matrix. Okay. So this is an example for you. If you have a matrix, this matrix, and then when you multiply another matrix, okay, let's say this is matrix A, you multiply with another matrix, let's say it's B, and when this B you multiply with matrix A, you will get the identity matrix. So you can say that B is the inverse of matrix A. Yeah, B is the inverse of matrix A. And actually you can write it as like this. Yeah, if this is A, so when you multiply with when you get answer matrix identity, you multiply with the inverse of the matrix, yeah, or vice versa. The inverse of the matrix, when you multiply with the original matrix, you'll get the identity matrix. Yes, there is this one, of course. This is the inverse of matrix of this matrix. Yeah. So how do you do it? How you know? You just multiply. Yeah. This is the inverse. Yeah, the inverse matrix. And for this one, this is the inverse matrix. Yeah. Okay. Okay. The one I circle is the inverse matrix. So you can prove, you can actually prove it. Okay. You try to prove it. You try to calculate this one and this one. Do you get 1001? Yes, you got it. So you can say that multiplication of matrix A and inverse matrix of A, that is A minus 1, will result in identity matrix. You call it I. Yeah. So you can write it like this. Yeah. Matrix A times with the inverse matrix, or the inverse matrix you multiply with the matrix, you'll get identity matrix. So you called this one and this one as inverse matrix. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, now let's look at example 22. Determine whether the following matrix is the inverse of this matrix. Yeah. Explain your answer. Okay. Do you think this is the inverse of this matrix? How do you know? Okay. You will know it when you multiply. Yeah, you multiply the original matrix and the one given to you, and you should get what? Yes, you should get, if it is the inverse, you should get, when you multiply these two matrices, you will get 1001. Yeah, the matrix identity. But what happened when you multiply? You did not get, right? 4, 1, negative 2 is not the inverse of matrix this one. This is not, because the product of these matrices is not an identity matrix. You can see they got the answer 9, 6, 14, 11. It is not the identity matrix. Yeah. So we try for B. Is B the identity matrix, the inverse matrix of 4, 1, 7, 2? So what do? We just multiply it, and yes, your answer, you get identity matrix. Okay, we try whether it is vice versa, because you know matrix A, when you multiply with the inverse matrix, you will get identity matrix, and it should be the inverse of the matrix A. You multiply with A, you should get also matrix identity. So we switch, yeah, the other way. This one is the we try to put this one first, yeah, and multiply with the original matrix. Oh yes, we also get matrix identity. So we can say that 2, -1, -7, 4 is the inverse matrix of 4, 1, 7, 2. Why? Explain your answer. Because the product of these matrices is an identity matrix, this one. Okay? Okay, that is very easy. So now, how to find the inverse matrix? Is there a way, is there a formula to find this one, the inverse? How to find it? How to find it? So next is we will try to, you'll be given, you'll be given, we make a shortcut, you'll be given a formula. Okay, how to determine the inverse matrix of 2 by 2 matrix, yeah? If you are given this matrix, yeah, matrix A is A, B, C, D. How to find the inverse? The inverse of matrix A, there is a formula. Yes, this is the formula. So what is it? You have to 1 over, yeah, AD, this A, yeah, AD, you minus with CB, yeah, CB minus BC, okay? And then, what do? You interchange your A and D. Interchange, interchange, D go there, A go here, okay? And then for B and C you don't interchange, but you change the, yes, you change the sign here. If it's positive, it become negative. This one positive become negative. If negative, it become positive. Yeah, you change the sign. Okay. But there is another rule that we have to remember. Yeah, this one is called the determinant. This one. This is you call the determinant for matrix A, and the symbol is like this. Yeah, and you cannot get 0. Yeah, AD, your determinant A, that is AD minus BC, cannot become 0. Yeah, why cannot become 0? Why? Because you look at here, 1 over, if this is 1 over 0, yeah, 1 over 0, what's the answer? No, you cannot get the answer. You use calculator also, you will not get, yeah. Undefined, yeah, undefined. So make sure your determinant AD minus BC will not be equal to 0. Then your matrix, inverse matrix, will exist. Yeah. So inverse matrix does not exist when you got your determinant or AD minus BC equal 0. Yeah. So the formula is not that difficult. Yeah. You just remember 2 steps. 2 steps. First, you find the determinant. Find the determinant. Then you change. You change what? First, you interchange. Yeah? Interchange A and then D. And then you change the sign. Yeah, positive to negative, negative to positive. As easy as that. So we look at one. Okay, example 23. For each of the following matrices, determine whether the inverse matrix exists. Exists or not. If yes, calculate the inverse matrix. Okay, if the matrix, the inverse matrix exists, that means your determinant A will not equal to 0. So what do? You find your determinant first, yeah. Your determinant is what? 1 times 8. 1 times 8 minus 2 times 4. Yeah, so you get 8 minus 8. You'll get 0. So when your determinant is 0, that means your inverse matrix A minus 1 does not exist. Yeah, does not exist. Okay, so what about B? So you find your determinant of B. What do you get? This one you times, you'll get 12 minus this one 10. So you get 2. Your determinant of B is 2. That means the inverse matrix of B exists. Yeah, exists. So when it exists, we have to calculate lah. Okay, so how to calculate? Okay, let's do it. How to calculate? Remember the formula? What is the formula? Yeah, we do it one by one. So the B inverse of matrix B equal to 1 over AD minus BC. That means just now that you have done it just now, 12 minus 5, 10. Yeah, 5 times 2 is 10. And then you just change. What do you change? Yes, you interchange 3 and 4. 4 will go there. Here 3 will be go down. And then you change the sign. Here is positive 5. It'll be negative 5. This is positive 2. It'll be negative 2. Yeah, negative 2. So this is 1 over 2 times 4, negative 5, negative 2, 3. And then you multiply to every element with negative 1, with 1 over 2. What do you get? This one you'll get 1 over 2 times 4 is 2. 1 over 2 times negative 5 is negative 5 over 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 1 over 2. Sorry. 1 over 2 times negative 2. This is negative 2. Yeah? Times negative 2. You'll get 1 over 2 times negative 2. You'll get negative 1. Right? Negative 1. So 1 over 2 times 3. You'll get 3 over 2. Yeah? So this is 3 over 2. So this is your inverse of matrix B. Yeah? Okay. Where is the example? Okay, calculate the inverse matrix of C. So how to calculate? 2, negative 6, 1, negative 2. Okay, so this is C. So the inverse of matrix C is C negative 1 equal, remember, 1 over this one, A and D, you times 2, sorry, include the negative, include the negative. 2 times negative 2 minus, formula is minus, and then B times C. So then meaning negative 6 times 1. Yeah, okay. And then this matrix, you will what? Interchange. This one interchange, negative 2, 2. And then change the sign. This sign, negative 6 become 6. 1 will positive 1 will become negative 1. Okay. Then you solve this one. What do you get? Negative 4 plus 6. What do you get? 2. Right? So 1 over 2 times the same what you did just now. So you just multiply. You multiply 1 over 2 in every element here, times with 1 over 2. So what do you get? 1 over 2, you times negative 2, you will get negative 1. So negative 1. 1 over 2 times 6, you will get 3. So this is 3 here. Okay, 1 over 2 times negative 1 is negative 1 over 2. 1 over 2 times 2 is 1. So this is the inverse matrix. Yeah, this is the inverse matrix of C. Yeah, you can write it like this. C minus 1 is this one. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's look at example 25. Given matrix D, matrix D is this one, and calculate the value of M if, okay, A is this one, matrix D does not have inverse matrix, Okay, we do A first. Okay, so A, if it does not have inverse matrix, that means your D, your determinant of D, that means is equal to 0. So determinant, how to calculate? This one, right? M times negative 2 minus, that is formula, minus what? Minus 6, negative 6 times 1. Yeah, will be 0. Okay, so you get your answer, negative 2m plus 6 equals 0. So your m is 3. Yes, your m is 3. So you found your m here. So remember, if D does not exist, does not have matrix A, does not have inverse matrix, that means this one, very important, the determinant is equal to 0. So you just make one equation to find your M. Okay, now we look at B. You have to find M if you are given this one, the inverse of D. So what do you do? You know that D times the inverse of D, you will get matrix identity. So you just fill it up everything. Your D is M, -6, 1, -2. You times with -1, 3, -1/2, 1. You will get identity is 1, 0, 0, 1, right? So what do? You want to find M. So M is in this first row. First row times with the first column, you'll get 1, right? Okay, so we just do that part. M times -1 plus -6 times -1/2 equal 1. Yeah, so what do you get? You'll get -M plus 3 equal 1. So you'll get your M become 2. So once again, you got your M. Yeah. Question A and B is different question. It doesn't connect to each other. Okay. So 26. 26. It is given that 1, 2, 3, 8. You times with A. Yeah. It become 1, 0, 0, 1. That means your A is what? The inverse. Yeah. The inverse of this one. So what do? You just find your inverse matrix. Yeah? Use the formula 1 over, okay, this one, 1 times 8 is 8 minus 2 times 3 is 6. And then you just interchange your 8 and 1. And then your 2, you change the sign into negative. And then your 3, you change the sign into -3. Yeah. So you get your inverse matrix is 1/2 times 8, -2, -3, 1. And then finally, you'll get, you have to, 1/2, you have to times with 8, times with -2, times with -3, times with 1. Yeah. So you'll get your answer. 1/2 times 8 is 4. 1/2 times -2 is -1. 1/2 times -3 is -3/2. 1/2 times 1 is 1/2. So you'll get your matrix A. Yeah. So your matrix A equal to this one. And actually it is the inverse of matrix A. So this is the answer. Okay. So far so good. So I hope this video helps you to understand better and you can do the exercises given to you in the textbook. Yeah. So please stay updated by subscribing and watch this video. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.